Welcome to Middle Ground. I am Eugene, and this
Dave,
is
Dave,
uh,
Dave. Dave's not here,
okay.
man.
Dave's having a hard time remembering his name today,
I said
and
it three
Jerry
times. How
Falwell
hard
Jr.
am I
is
remembering?
having a hard time remembering his conservative values, and that's what we're speaking about today. Mr. Jerry Falwell Jr., Mr. Family Values Falwell Jr., Mr. Monogamy Falwell Jr. He has been in the news in 2020, along with a lot of other things that just have not been good for us as a country. So let's speak about. Are you about
Jerry
to say
Falwell.
something? Jerry
Yeah,
Falwell.
It all started with the picture. Tell us about the picture.
I'm not telling you about the picture. I'll let you tell them about the picture. So
Okay,
let's
so
we're going to tell you guys who this man is. His father started a university in Lynchburg, Virginia, in 1971. It was originally called Lynchburg University or something to that effect, but they changed the name to Liberty because being in the South, they didn't want Lynch associated with their name. Very bad connotation, and I applaud that. And this university is Christian orientated, conservative orientated, and to the point where the students there are required to take 3 Bible study classes to get their bachelor's degree. So along with their regular course studies, they have to take Bible study. And I commend that, if you're very spiritual, this is a good place for you to be. They have a honor code. Look at it, I'm shaking his head. They have an honor code called Liberty Way, which prohibits premarital sex and private interactions between the opposite sex. And this university has also been described as the bastion. Let me say that again. The bastion of Christian rights, of the Christian right in American politics. And the university also plays a role in the Republican Party and Republican politics. We all view, no, I'm not going to even say view. We all hear conservative values and we think family values because that's what they tell us. And we also know
that's not what I think, but you go ahead.
what they tell us is not always what they do. We are people, we do make mistakes. And with Mr. Falwell Jr., Mr. Conservative Values Falwell Jr., Mr. Family Values Falwell Jr., Mr. Institution of Marriage is between one man, nope, we can't say one man, we can't say one woman, because for Falwell, the institution of marriage is between one man, one woman, and one pool boy. Yes, Mr. Falwell Jr. enjoys watching his wife
de Cabana
have sex with the pool boy. Me personally, I see nothing wrong with that. What you do in the privacy of your own home with another consenting adult is your business. I don't have a problem with that. But I do have a problem with the hypocrisy of a leader from a Christian organization, a conservative organization, a Republican organization, telling me that these things are wrong, and then he does them. Dave, feel free to expound on that.
It's really about the shame that this man introduces into the world. So the number of evangelicals who have been, caught doing some, or not, who have been found out to have been having premarital sex, and who have felt shame from their family, shame from their friends, shame from their college, maybe even kicked out. How many students have been kicked out of Liberty University for doing similar things, sex out of wedlock? And that would be interesting to find out. So this man has been headed up an organization that basically introduces shame. And he now wants us to feel bad for him. And he wants to actually be compensated for doing exactly the same thing that he's been uh, on a war path against for his entire life in his public life, and that is just beyond the pale. That's what's wrong. This whole thing started when when a photograph of him was released, where he was found with standing next to an attractive young lady with his pants unzipped and her midriff is showing, and he's carrying, I think, a bottle or a glass of hooch or something like that. And he says that it was an innocent picture. I mean,
It
these two
was.
obviously. Oh, yeah, the innocent picture of them after sex in their postcoital bliss. Anyway, so his excuse for this picture was she was pregnant, and that's why her belly was showing, and his pants were too tight, and that's why they weren't zipped up. Anyway,
You seem
that
to not buy that argument.
oh
I
no,
believe him.
you he had
I
a look
believe
on his
him.
face. It's like he's like, look what I just hit. That's the
Dave,
look that's on his face.
Dave, I believe him. So what if
Do
he
you
wanted
believe
the
him?
whole world to know that he just had sex with this pregnant woman? I believe that he didn't because
I
he
don't think
said he
she was
didn't.
pregnant. Well, she might have. She had no signs of being pregnant. That was the excuse that he said for her to be showing her belly.
Dave, I believe him.
I believe in Santa Claus. Okay, let's move on.
Okay, so
And Batman.
he had to resign. Falwell, conservative Falwell Jr., had to resign from the university. And he resigned with a 10.5 million golden parachute. And yes, it took me a while after reading this story. It took a little prep for me to be able to say golden parachute as opposed to golden shower. It took about 3 or 4 takes for me to get that right. So he receives 10.5 million in compensation. We can call it a severance package. And it seems everyone has forgotten about this. He has his money. There's separation between him and the university. And now it's back in the news because he is suing the university for defamation.
Defecation. He's suing the university for defecation of character because they're shitting all over him. No, I'm just kidding. Defamation.
It went away. Why are you bringing this back? I wanted to talk about this months ago, but that window of opportunity left. And then this gift came. It was like Christmas in October. This idiot is suing the university. So now we all get to revisit this and we all get to talk about Mr. Family Values watching his wife have sex with the pool boy.
We can talk about Jerry Falwell Jr.'s Jr.
Oh my God.
What do you think he calls his pee-pee when he's like
I think you are the king of the
Jerry
dad jokes today.
Falwell Jr. the third, like like little Jerry Falwell Jr. What do you think it is?
So my question is, where is the defamation? The church didn't say you did this. You said you did it. Then you took the severance package. So are you mad at the church for believing you? Where's the argument here? That's what I'm not finding.
Well,
Where's the
he
argument?
doesn't get to fly in the private plane anymore. He's still rich, but he's just not super rich. I don't know. This guy's crazy. What do you want?
I don't want anything. I just want to talk about the fact that Mr. Conservative Jerry Falwell Jr., Mr. Family Values Jerry Falwell Jr., Mr. Monogamous Jerry Falwell Jr. enjoys watching his wife have sex with the pool boy.
And I think we can all have a good laugh about it. And I think what we found is the middle ground.
Indeed. I like what you did there. And I still want to keep saying it, but I'm not. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.